4 House seats, 43-day shutdown, 2 presidential elections in a row. That's the running tab of what the Democrat Party has handed Donald Trump without a fight. And today, they added one more to the list. Look, I've been voting with the Democrats since I was 18 years old because I believed in voting. I believed in America. I believed in the two-party system. But a two-party system doesn't count when one party shows up to the boxing match and the other one can't find its way out of a parking lot. So here's what just happened. Virginia voters, actual voters, of which I am one, in an actual election on April 21st, narrowly approved a constitutional amendment to let the Democrats redraw the congressional map. 4 House seats. This is in direct response to Texas, to Florida, to every Republican state Trump told to gerrymander mid-decade and did so. And by the way, largely without duly run elections. Then, on Friday, the Virginia Supreme Court, on the most procedural, technical grounds that you can imagine, basically said some county clerks didn't post the right notices on the right courthouse wall and threw the whole thing out. Voters narrowly approved the amendment on April 21st, and the court's ruling rendered the results of that vote meaningless. A duly approved election swept away with the swipe of a pen. But the Democrats had a move. The Virginia General Assembly is Democrat-controlled. They could lower the mandatory retirement age for the state Supreme Court justices to 54, install new judges, rehear the case, restore the map. It's perfectly legal, and it's within their power. And the Republicans would do it in a heartbeat. They've done worse for less. And as of today, the Democrats decided not to do it. The majority leader, Scotty, told the New Republic, and I want you to sit with this. He said they can't pull it off in time because the technology is so old, it takes a lot of time to put in new districts, and they can't ensure they're going to do it by November. Yeah, the computers are too old. The computers. The Democrat Party of the United States of America, facing the most aggressive power grab in modern political history, is telling you the reason they can't fight back is that the voting system software needs an update. And then Scotty threw in the kicker. He said that wiping out the entire Supreme Court is an incredibly extreme step to take over a decision you don't like. Extreme? While the president, with a 30% approval rating, is commanding red states to redraw maps mid-decade to hold on to power, while Tennessee has carved up black voters in Memphis in a matter of days and are arresting their legislators, while Florida ripped out 4 Democratic districts and didn't bat an eye. That's not extreme. Fighting back is, though. And this is not a one-off. This is the pattern. 6 weeks ago, the longest government shutdown in American history, 43 days, Democrats had something they almost never have in a shutdown: real leverage. The public was blaming the Republicans. Democrats were winning special elections left and right. Then 8 of them crossed the aisle and folded. And what did they get? A promise to schedule a vote on renewal for expiring health insurance subsidies with no assurance of passage. A promise to schedule a vote, not a vote. Gavin Newsom called it a capitulation and a betrayal of working Americans. Bernie called it a policy and a political disaster. Elizabeth Warren called it a terrible mistake. And they keep doing it. Hillary in 2016, Kamala in 2024. They keep sidelining the Bernies and sidelining the AOCs, propping up the most uninspired candidate in the room, and they keep losing. And when they don't lose, they fold anyway. At what point do we stop calling this a strategy problem and call it what it is? This is who they are. Republicans are rewriting the rules in real time. The opposition party is filing briefs and waiting on software updates. Their fecklessness isn't separate from the crisis, it is the crisis. Somebody has to be the oppositions, and the Democrats have decided the role is too uncomfortable. And here's what I want to talk about directly to the Democrats in my comments, because I know you're coming. The wagging fingers, the you're handing it to Trump. And if you don't vote blue, you're voting red. Save it. I refuse to be browbeaten. I will not be shamed. I refuse to be manipulated into propping up a party that has decided in advance that they will not fight for me. You don't get to lose on purpose for 20 years and then guilt trip me about the duopoly that you built. You don't get to run Hillary, run Kamala, sideline Bernie, sideline AOC, fold in a shutdown, fold in Virginia, and then turn around and tell me I'm the problem because I won't keep feeding the machine. How much worse can it possibly get when the only thing my vote is currently doing is entrenching a duopoly so you can further do nothing on my behalf? You don't represent the energy in this country. You don't represent the moment. And so you don't represent me. So no, I will not be ashamed of saying that out loud. Let it die. Let the Democratic Party rot. Whatever comes after it, a real Labor Party, a real progressive coalition, something that understands that we are in a street fight for democracy and the future of our country and actually acts like it can't possibly be worse than what we have right now. Performative opposition is worse than no opposition because it tricks people into thinking someone is actually fighting for them when nobody is. Nothing is worse than performative opposition. Nothing.